Hi, it's Peggy Lee, and I am coming to you today with a cute little technique, I guess is what I'm going to say. I created this little piece of chicken wire. It is actually cardstock. It is a Canvas Corp brand's cardstock, and I used Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist, and I used Ranger's embossing powders for this. So let me show you. This is so gorgeous, and this is a few layers of embossing powder, and then I sanded it and added some glimmer mist. So let me show you what this started out like first. So Canvas Corp brands have this beautiful black and ivory chicken wire cardstock, and it's CCB-2963 if you would like to order it. And I'll have the link below to the website that you can get this cardstock. This is just, I love this cardstock. So I decided to fussy cut out some pieces, and I mean, I fussy cut them out like this. So here's one 12 by 12 piece of paper. I went ahead and cut this out, just fussy cut it with a pair of scissors. And then what I did is I took my craft blade, and my Fiskars, craft blade, and I just went on the inside of just random pieces of my cutout from the cardstock. And I just did random. I mean, you don't really need to do anything more than what you like. So this is a piece that I'm going to do for a card class. So let's get started. I'm going to show you how I got it to be like there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take and fussy cut out a couple pieces out of here. And I'm just going to do, a small piece because it's for the video. And you just follow the lines. It's really actually quite easy. And then all you have to do is just decide how big you want your piece to be. I'm going to go up, and you can see I'm not being very careful. I'm really not being careful. I'm just cutting however I want, and you're going to fussy cut it, and you're just going to cut out, and we'll cut this piece off. Hope I'm still in frame. And let's see, we'll cut that point off. We'll cut this off, and let's cut this piece out. And you see, I'm just randomly doing it. I have no rhyme or reason to how many I'm going to cut out and what I'm going to cut out. I just eyeball it, actually, to be truthful with you. And it's really fun just to do that. I'm going to cut this piece off. I don't like that. So we're going to get rid of that stuff. So I have a little piece like this. Okay, it's about the same size. And what's nice is you can add this into like a canvas or a card or an altered art project or almost anything. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to have to get out the craft mat because we don't want to cut on our surface. So we're going to get the craft mat out, and we're going to get this, and we're going to get our X-Acto knife. That's what it's called. And we're just going to cut on the inside of the line. So I'm going to choose this one. And you have to be careful, and you will rip it most likely. I have ripped it. I just embraced the rips. I try not to overthink it and just go, because I want it to be organic. I want it to be, see, let's do this one. I want it just to be free-flowing. I don't want it to be perfect because I'm not that way. I like rustic, dingy things. So I think I'm going to leave this one, and we'll take this one out. And we're going to do it. And it actually doesn't take very long. I think I made this one. Let me get it for you. I made this one within, like, I want to say 15 minutes. It's actually not very hard at all. All right, so I did that one, that one, that one. So let's do this one. And what's cool is you can make a bunch of these up at a time and then just keep them on the side of your workstation, and you can have them to go in your cards. And see how they just pop right out? You may have to take your scissors and cut them out. Just try to be careful. So we'll take this one out. Look, that's starting to look really cute already. I love this chicken wire. Now that's black on ivory cardstock chicken wire. It's really kind of cool. So then I got 3 in the middle and 1 down here. So it's just a random piece, nothing major. Actually, if I wanted to, I could take this piece out. Let's actually do that because I think I'm going to like that better. I try not to do too many in a row, solid pieces. I don't know why. It's just the way I am. I have no plans. This was just Sunday night. I just wanted to craft and create and do something. So here we go. So we have this piece. So now we get rid of our craft mat. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take VersaMark. We're going to take VersaMark Ink watermark stamp pad, and mine's well loved, as you can see. And we're going to take that and we're going to just dab on top of our cardstock chicken wire. This is so cool. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to pull in a scrap piece of paper and we're going to dump some Ranger embossing powder, and this one is called silver. So we're just going to dump it all on there. Get it really good. I almost dumped the whole bottle. Probably don't need to do that as much, but that's just the way I am. And I use a tweezer only because it's really fine, and you can grab it and pull that out, knock it off. Quick, go ahead and put this embossing powder back into your jar because we're going to use it again. And then we're going to pick this up, and I like to wipe my station off with the VersaMark on there. I don't know, just don't want it to dry. Then you're going to take your heat tool and you're just going to dry or heat emboss this embossing powder that is on your cardstock. And this is a Canvas Corp Brands product, and it's really fun. Of course, you know, embossing is always a wow factor because every person who ever tries embossing powder is amazed at the fact that it changes. It's just really, really cool. Now, you see how fast that was? That was just so fast and simple, but it's too shiny. But there needs to be more layers. Okay, see that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my embossing or my VersaMark again, and I'm just going to quickly go over that. Now, before I add a second layer of my silver, I'm going to grab Princess Gold from Ranger, and I'm going to stick this on here, and I'm just going to sparingly and randomly dump, mostly in those big places. Okay, and then we're going to dap off that embossing powder, set that aside, dump that back into our gold. You don't want to, I don't want to mix my gold and my silver, and sometimes I have done that in the past, and sometimes it's okay, and sometimes it's like, oh, what did I do that for? So, and then you take your silver and you just dump again right over the whole thing. I do it right over the gold. I don't know, just because I do it. I have no rhyme or reason. Tap it off, lay it down, put the rest of your embossing powder into your jar because we don't want to waste. And I'm going to tell you, embossing powder can last you a long time. I have embossing powder that I've had probably for 10 years, and I still use it, and it's still good. It's amazing. So now you're going to heat emboss that again. I know my camera's going in and out, driving me crazy. So this is really cool. So what's really fun is sometimes don't just look at cardstock paper as it's just a cardstock and I'm never going to use that. Because it's easy to take a look at this cardstock and say, what would I do with that? I don't have no idea how I'm going to do that. Wow. This is what's fun. I wanted I love the chicken wire cardstock, but I wanted the texture and the look of chicken wire. So I thought, well, I'll try this out and we'll play with it. Okay, and while that is still hot, I'm going to bring my paper back in. I'm going to pick this up. And while that is still hot, I'm going to grab some more silver. So you don't always have to use the VersaMark. While it's still hot, I'm going to go ahead and do that again. I'm going to just throw some embossing powder down. And it's not going to stick everywhere because it's not all hot. So like right here, there's not a lot on there, so I'm going to pull that off and heat that up. And then I'm going to drag it through my